If you could go back in time and change one thing about history, what would it be? I'm genuinely curious, let me know in the comments below. Now I bring this up because little changes in the past can drastically change history forever. Well, grab your time machines and history books because today we will be traveling back in time to around 27 BC to 476 AD, aka the Roman Empire. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. The voice you're currently listening to belongs to me, Lindsay Ivan, your voice of reason for today's video, which is what if the Roman Empire discovered America? But before I begin, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions. With that being said, let's dive on into the video. So it's now 31 BCE. Augustus Caesar has just become the first emperor of Rome and is about to drastically improve the empire. Now stop right there. Yes, Augustus was considered the first emperor of Rome. Julius Caesar was often regarded as a dictator, not an emperor, so the Senate never granted him that title. Carrying on, during Augustus's reign, he managed to bring stability to Rome. He reformed the laws, secured Rome's borders, and initiated a lot of building projects. Hence why he said that he found Rome a city of clay, but left it a city of marble. Now, the history of the Roman Empire can be divided into three different periods. The period of kings, 625 to 510 BC, Republic Rome, 510 to 31 BC, and Imperial Rome, 31 BC to 476 AD. The period of kings is the first period in Roman history. During this time, Rome was led by 6 kings, and they saw a lot of advancements economically and militarily. Then there was Republican Rome, where it was no longer ruled by kings, they had a new form of government. This time, the upper classes ruled, but in times of crisis, a dictator could be appointed to handle the situation. In 451 BC, this is when the Romans established the 12 tables, a set of laws outlined on 12 bronze tablets. This was created to establish rights and responsibilities of Roman citizens. During this era, Rome continued to expand and managed to gain control over the entire Italian peninsula. Then it was the Punic Wars, which allowed Rome to gain control of Carthage and Corinth. Skipping forward to 51 BC, Julius Caesar is now in charge. He conquered Celtic Gaul and Rome's borders started to spread beyond the Mediterranean region. When Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, he was replaced by Augustus Caesar, who did great things for the Roman Empire. So during Rome's imperial period with Augustus Caesar as Rome's first emperor, they had decades of stability, peace, and prosperity. They had a strong army and a very strong empire. Thanks to that, Rome expanded like crazy and became very prosperous. So now here comes the what if. What if during this time of prosperity and expansion, the Roman Empire discovered America? In order for this to happen, for starters, they would need a sturdy enough vessel, and one that was big enough that could transport a large colonization group. So let's pretend that this was possible and they head out on a long journey and successfully reach America without any issues. Honestly, at first they might be disinterested in the land. The Romans rarely conquered places that weren't already economically developed, with exception to some places. AKA, the inhabitants of the land already knew about crop rotations and had successful agricultural growth. Yet, the US East Coast to the Great Plains were primarily hunter-gatherer societies. To the Romans, this wouldn't have been worth the effort to battle it out and take control of the land. There also would not appear to be anything on the land worth their time. There probably wasn't anything that they didn't already have access to or anything worth their while, at least from what they could tell at first glance. On top of that, if they went over there and saw no signs of wealth, it would give them no reason to stay. The Romans had no interest in colonies that would not provide them with immediate wealth. So not only would it take months to travel there, but when they did arrive there, they might have been very disappointed. On the other hand, if they were really determined to take over the land for whatever reason, then the original settlers on the land would have been enslaved. This was typical of Roman conquests. They then would be forced to work under their control. Now, as we know by Christopher Columbus's arrival to the New World, he brought with him tons of diseases that devastated the Native Americans. The same thing might happen if the Romans were the ones to discover America, but it would be way less worse than when Columbus came. It's said that he brought over 30 diseases with him. So yeah, the Romans sadly might bring over some disease with them, but not as bad as Mr. Columbus. Here's the tricky part. If they loved what they found there, then they would demand for more ships with men and supplies to be sent over. But who's spreading the word? You're going to have someone travel back to Rome, which could take months, to then get more people and supplies, and travel several more months back to America. That's a huge waste of time. But it was the only way to do it, besides spreading it through word of mouth at ports. But if word did get out that the Roman Empire was taking up more land and that they didn't have their full army with them, well, that makes them seem weak and an easy target for other people wanting to conquer. The Roman Empire seems way less intimidating when they lack their powerful army, don't they? There would also be an increase in ships being built for travel back and forth between the places, ones that were sturdy and fast. But the ocean is unpredictable. A lot of shipwrecks would occur and a lot of lives would be lost. It would take several years before the Roman Empire could successfully colonize America. Maybe they wouldn't even be able to do it before their empire falls. Furthermore, if the Roman Empire discovered America, then we could have had access to more advanced technologies at an earlier time. The best thing that the Romans could bring with them to this new land is their abundance of knowledge. Roman technology was extremely advanced for its time. Sadly, after the fall of the empire, a lot of the technology was destroyed or forgotten. But with a new area of land comes a new hope that their ideas could have survived, such as concrete. Concrete was invented by the Romans, but after their fall, the ingredients used to make concrete were lost. It wasn't until 8 centuries later that they mastered the correct formula again. So imagine what structures could have been built in those 800 years. The architecture today would be way more advanced and different. On top of that, America's architectural style would closely resemble Rome's. We might see more buildings with columns or even colosseums and pantheons in America. Additionally, Romans invented plumbing. This allowed them to take showers and baths daily with clean water. But again, after their fall, it wasn't until 1500 years later that plumbing was reinvented. If the empire remained successful in America, think about the other advancements in plumbing they could have made. Rome was also known for their roads. This allowed for fast transportation and great military movements. Think of the impact this would have done for America. They established great roads like this there as well. Sadly, I don't think this all would happen. After the empire's decline, they would not be able to afford the constant transport of ships over to America. Not only that, but they wouldn't be able to afford to bring the people over there back home. So they would be left there on their own. And what happens to them in their new colony would all depend on who's in charge. They would be severely weakened without a proper leader and without support from back home. Now let's talk about religion for a second. A majority of America's population is Christian, so not much would change there, since eventually the empire adopted Christian beliefs and that was the main religion for quite some time. But the Roman Empire's first religion was similar to Greek religion, where they would worship gods and demigods. So if the Roman Empire was colonizing America, maybe, just maybe, they would have continued on with this belief, meaning that Hellenistic polytheism would be the dominant religion in America. Now before I conclude today's video, I'm going to hit you with one big shocker of a fact. Historians claim that the Roman Empire did discover America, and obviously way before Christopher Columbus did. Scientists have discovered a Roman sword in a shipwreck near America. Not only that, they discovered old carvings of soldiers, ancient coins, and native plants on land there. So theory goes that the Roman Empire did discover America way before Columbus did. And if this is true, then this means that everything today is as a result of them discovering it. So now the question should be, what if the Roman Empire didn't discover America? That might be where the changes are. And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from my video, what if Soviet Russia won the space race? Abigan Nath commented, many knows America didn't really land on moon. Instead, they filmed inside a studio. Okay, that theory literally trips me out though. Like I went down a dark hole reading all about it. I don't even know what to think. Tina Jones commented, hi, how is your day going? Pretty good. A little bit tired and hungry, but that's normal with me. How are you? Lava Snake commented, period. Person of few words. Mysterious. I like it. Pancake Man commented, I would eat a car. Okay, I don't know what you mean by this or what it has to do with that video, but please don't. That'll just throw your digestive system way out of line. Tony Atherton commented, make a video if money grew on trees, please. If money grew on trees, I would have a forest in my backyard. Not only that, but the oxygen levels would be so good since a lot of people would just be planting trees everywhere. And that's all the comments I'm showing out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions for more thought-provoking videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and stay curious, YouTube.